Okay, let's just quickly have one more exercise today. Firstly, then we'll move on to today's session. Let's go to insert. You can have a PDF import over here, PDF import. Then you have to select wherever your file is, hit open. Hit OK, because as you get progress with AutoCAD, you will know what these options are. As for now, just I'm hitting OK. I just want everyone to view this drawing for a moment. So you can observe, right? You can observe this drawing. As you observe, what you can see is, so there is a big circle over here, and there are 4 circles, inner circles, and there are 4 external circles. And these external circles
Karthik,
are connected via,
Karthik,
yeah,
your screen
I'm
is
not
not
able.
shared.
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, now is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Yes,
it
sir.
visible? Yeah, I did not do anything. I just close it and I'll try to open once again. Let's go to insert, PDF import. I have imported. Okay. Now I just want everyone to observe this drawing first. All right. So what you can see here is one big circle, okay, and 4 inner circles and 4 outer circles. And these outer circles are connected via a fillet or arc. Is it right? So what we have to do is we have to recreate this thing with the help of the dimensions given over here. We have dimensions over here. So before creating these things, we have seen how to draw a dotted line yesterday, right? I'll just go to home. So don't worry about the layers for this drawing because everything is drawing in a single layer. There is 0 layer because there are no other elements. I'll just go to 0th layer, and then firstly in the line type, I'll just load one more line type, that is a dotted line. For these purposes, we use dot dash line. So let me load that line. You can see dash double that is not okay. Let's scroll down. Yeah, this looks okay for me. Dash and dot. Select that line. Select that line. Hit OK. Now we have this line. I'll quickly select that line. Press L, enter for my line. I'll just have a reference line like this. If it's not loaded, what you have to do is just go to this other. One second. I have selected this line. So let me, okay, there are 2 more geometries. That is why we are facing an error. So let me just quickly add one more layer. Whatever this layer is, I'll name it as drawing layer. After that, here we'll have our line type as center. I'll recheck. Okay, center. Now we have our center and line weight. Let it be that. So let me select drawing layer. Let me make it as a current layer. Then let me draw a line. So there should be some error because of this PDF geometries. Whenever you import something in your drawing, so sometimes you may have the error because of this imported geometry, which may not be from your file, which is from external source. So you are seeing such errors. So okay, let it be. I'll sort out that later. First, let me draw a reference line like this. I'll just have a intersection somewhere like this. Okay. After that, first let's observe this internal circle. So this is of 76 dia. Whatever the units you are taking, you can give 76. If there is no mention of say millimeter or feet or inches, you can continue with the dimensions you have taken. So basically, if they are not mentioning over here in the drawing, imagine they should be mentioning somewhere over here in this dialog box. So here you can see metric. Metric means it may be in units of millimeters to meters. Mostly, this is a machine component, so it will be in millimeters. So that's how we have to imagine. And we have a radius. So this is a symbol of diameter. If you are given with the symbol of R, which is radius, so we have a phi symbol which indicates the diameter. So the diameter here is 76. See, enter. Let's draw 76. Okay, it's a big thing. I'll just check units quickly. So this is a minimized version, like the drawing is crunched. So we are seeing a small version of this. But let me draw as per our what you call dimensions, the dimensions which they have mentioned. I'll just quickly move this somewhere else. So why we are getting this error is as we imported the drawing to this AutoCAD environment, what happened is the drawing has shrink to the dimension which is not actual dimension. So let me show me here. I'll just take a measurement, quick measurement. You can see as I go from this point to this point, it is 1.82. What should be of 100? All right. You can correct this, but before taking your file, you can correct. But after taking your file, it's not it's possible to correct this file. So I leave it like this. Well, anyway, I'm just taking this as a reference. So using these dimensions, I'm trying to draw. Okay. Understood any doubts in this? I'm just instead of seeing it somewhere else, it helps me if this particular PDF is in AutoCAD. That's why I've imported this PDF in AutoCAD. So with this reference, I'm trying to draw my drawing. I'll just try to expand this thing, this reference line. So you can see it was not visible earlier because our scale is very small. So whenever you take this PDF import layers, something will be messed up. So you have to be very careful. After that, what I'm going to draw is a circle of 76. I'll just select over here. Diameter is given as 76. From here, you can type it 76. You have a 76 there. So this should not be in dotted lines. So we can change it over here like this. I'll just try to expand.
Excuse me,
The
sir.
whole thing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, tell me.
So the line was firstly drawn as a cross.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh, how
yeah.
much should be the its length?
This one, right?
Yes.
This is a reference line. You don't have to worry about this length of this line. Why I am drawing this? It's for my reference. Even in this drawing also, whatever they have given, right? This one also, they don't have any dimension for these lines because these are reference lines. Only thing that matters is this should be like a presentable way. Like if I extend this line to this like here, what happens is the drawing will consume more space. The drawing should be in this block only. So we have restricted this line to this until this one, this line to this much. But these lines doesn't have any what you call dimension. Only the areas that we have given dimension, right? there is no dimension for this line. If you can see, this dimension is given only for the measurement of this inner circles dia to this outer circles dia. And this dimension, you can see the inner circles dia between two ends. That's it. There is no like meaning or function for these lines except for reference. That is why we denote them in dotted lines or dash dot lines. Okay. If it is a
Okay, sir.
full line, uh, you can imagine that full line is like if you see continuous line like this, you can imagine that is a part of drawing. That is why most of the times what we do is we do these things in color. Okay, if something is in different color of other than this dimension or these dotted lines, they indicate that that the drawing is that is a part of drawing. And also to avoid certain confusions like this, we increase this line weight slightly compared to this dimensions and all the other lines. Okay, so I have my inner circle, and next thing I
Okay,
have
sir.
to
But
do is
excuse me, sir.
yeah, yeah,
But in my AutoCAD,
uh,
I'm not able to get the centered line.
we'll see that later.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, sir.
yeah, I have drawn this circle. Now the duty for me is I have to draw these four circles, four inner circles. For that, what I have to get is I have to get the distance between this line to this line. So that is mentioned over here, 50. And also we have other information, that is the distance between these two lines is 100. Anyway, if you have 50 from this line to this line, which also means that you should have 50 from this line to this line. The same for opposite sides, because it is like same shape. It's isometric shape. So here from here to here 50 and here to here 100. So what I do is I'll quickly go to this line. What I can do is I can offset this line with offset command, and the distance I'm going to give 50. Enter. So I have one line like this, one line like this. I have multiple lines. So you can see we have got all the lines. First line, second line, one line parallel to this, two lines parallel to this main line, and two lines parallel to this main line. Now we have to draw all the external circles of 26 diameter, and this is of radius of 25. Okay, inner circle is of 26 diameter, outer circle is of radius 25, which means 50 diameter. So here should be our circle, right? This is our center point of the circle. Just let's verify. All right, the intersection point is our center point of the circle. So I'm taking that reference. I'll go to circle, circle radius. I'll give the radius of 25. I'll just change it to layer, and we have got 25. Next is diameter of 25, which means the radius of 12.5. So you don't have to select the radius, you can select directly diameter. Circle, diameter, 25. So in order to avoid this thing, I'll just change it to 0 layer so that we don't have to change it multiple times, just for our convenience. That's it. Again, I've drawn for one side. What I can do is I'll mirror. Go for mirror, select the first point, select that. I'll just press F8 so that I have exact center point. After the selection, you have to always remember, if you hit S, this source will be gone. So you should never press yes, you have to press no. So you'll have the source also. After that, we have two sides, right? Now, what I can do is I can take this line as a reference and mirror these two things to the opposite side. I've selected these two sides, these two objects. Then I'll hit mirror and take this point as my reference. Press no. Okay, now I've got all the other things. So only thing that has to be done is we have to give a fillet for external circles. So what is the fillet radius for external circles? That is R65. That is over here. 4x. 4x indicates 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go for fillet. Fillet. Here in the bottom section you can see radius, right? I've hit radius. Radius is of 65. Hit enter, and then select your circles. Press enter. Enter. You can select the next circles. Press enter. Select the next circles. Like that, you can complete. So now the drawing is complete. After that, what I'm going to do is, okay, we have drawn these 4 things. Now we have to convert all the other lines to what you call the dotted lines, like that of then the original drawing. Select everything. Now we can, anyway, it's in center. You can just select these things, take it to center. After that, you have to erase for temporarily. If these dotted lines are there, right? You cannot erase that. If I try to erase, that will be very difficult. Like this thing, I'll try to show. You can just go to trim or select trim, or you can just type TR, enter. Try to erase this thing. Try to erase this thing. Try to erase this thing. Meanwhile, you have a chance to erase these lines also. So in order to avoid that, what I'm going to do is I'll just show you a shortcut. Select all the things here, and then you have an option to hide these elements temporarily. They will be there in the project, but you can hide these elements temporarily. You can just click on this isolate objects, just hit hide objects. They will be gone for temporary. You can bring them back by clicking end object isolation. They will be present again. These things we use like whenever we want, like there is a hindrance for that given object in the given view. We want to temporarily make them not visible so that we can make certain changes. In that cases, we are going to use that option. Select everything, and you have your like 3 shapes: a rectangle, circle, and a triangle. You have to hit on that. Just hit hide objects. They will be gone from our project temporarily. Okay. Now I'll hit TR, enter. So wherever I have to change my drawing, I can change. Now you can see how easy it is, right? It was very difficult for me to change, to erase the unwanted lines, unwanted circles. Now it was easy. After your job is done, you can just hit that object isolation. Now end object isolation. Now we have your lines back. After that, what you have to do is, okay, you have to see until where the line is traveling. Okay, so you can just like mark a point like this, something like this, something like this, in 3 directions. In 4th direction, they have given the extension because they have to mention the dimension. We can also do the same thing. Like I'll just draw a line for reference, something like this. TR, enter, enter. After that, we can delete this line. Now we have our line perfect line. This side also, I'll do same thing. I'll just take a line for my reference. I'll just hit TR, enter, delete all 3 lines. After that, you can delete the reference line. The same for the 3rd side. Enter, click on the unwanted lines. You can hit delete the 3rd line. Now the 4th side also I'm doing the same thing, but I'm just extending this because I want to give my dimensions over here. TR, enter, delete. That's how we present a drawing. So now you can see this is what the actual drawing is, and this is what we have drawn. So this is exactly the replica. Clear? Everyone's clear, right?
Karthik, but if we know the PCD and the number of holes or more, can we directly draw all the holes together?
Yeah, yes, sir. You can actually draw one hole and you can array that if your component is same. Like let me show. So let's say this is my rectangle and this is my line. What I can do is I can just simply draw a circle like this wherever my hole is. Like let me draw a reference. I'll just draw a center line like this. Try to delete these things. I'll change it to layer. Now I know that holes will be in this given rectangle. What I can do is I can simply array them. Array, rectangular array. So you can multiply the count with your input over here. So for example, say you don't have any rows, you can put 0. So I'll just 1 second. Array, rectangular array. So if you have 0, you can put 0, the input. So polar array is not working, but you can, sorry.
No, understood. That is understood. I'm asking if there are, let's say, 12 holes in a circular flange. This is a flange basically. So
Yeah, yes, sir.
if I know the PCD of the flange.
What do you mean by PCD, sir?
Pitch circle diameter from the center of the flange to the center of that circle. For the
Yeah, yes, sir.
Then I can draw all the circles together.
Together, it's not possible. You can draw one circle and you can copy that thing.
Okay.
Like we have done here. Like we have drawn one and we have copied everything, right? Like here. You can do that, but you cannot draw at once everything. Either you can array if you are having an array option. Like let me show here. There are different types of array are there.
Is there a circular array?
Yeah, polar array. That is called polar array. I can just give my center point like this. I'll have my entire circle is covered. So you can say number of items are say 9 or how many circles you want and what is the space between them and what is the space between each and individual array, how many rows you want. These inputs you can give and you can generate your array.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So that is dependent of the circle. Okay, sir. And one more thing is, if you don't want here, what happens is, if you change one element, also every other element will be changed. Okay. If you don't want that, you have to go for edit source. Give your input when you are drawing itself. What you have to do is, I'll just show it one more example. Let's say I have a circle. If you don't want to change everything, even if I want to change one element, I have to change everything here. If you don't want that to happen, you have to go for array, polar array. So you have to give your dimension. Then here there is something called associative. You have to switch off this associative. So once you switch off that associative, each and every element will be independent of its own. Right? We have created this thing and we have taken this thing and created an array, right? So normally what happens, if you want to change one element also, you have to change everything. So here, it is not the case. Now, each and individual element can be edited. So that is an option for disassociation from the array. Clear? So now let's move on to today's topic. I hope everyone's on the path, everyone's clear. So today we are going to discuss two more topics that are important. One is hatching, the other one is annotation. So hatching also very similar to our line types. So we have discussed line types yesterday, right? Line weights and line types. So we cannot use as per our will the type of line we are going to use like this. There will be a standard associated, and that standard will be maximum provided by ISO or BIS according to our company and the industry standard. So let's see what are the different types of hatches are there. So you know what hatch is, right? Everyone know. I hope so. Everyone knows what hatch is. So hatch is something. Let's say we have something a shape like this, and what is this shape? How do you represent this shape? By seeing the type of fillet or that something that is filled in this hatch, we can know what that element is. So instead of keeping something empty like this, if we fill this element with lines or with dots or with some type of representation, we will definitely know what that element is. So there are certain standards for that. We'll see what those standards are. Like here in this, I'll share this also with everyone. Okay, so this is a normal say rectangle, but if you're having the stripes in this direction in any drawing, if you notice, so that should be of steel, cast iron, and copper, or such minerals like materials which are of minerals. The same again, if you see cross hatch in both the directions, it indicates that it may be lead, zinc, tin, white metal, or some other element which is represented in this way. Like if you see bronze, you can see there is line, there is dotted line, line, dotted line. The hatch pattern will be in this format. Wherever you draw glass, you should always draw like this. Whatever the size and shape of the glass, it should always be drawn like this pattern. You can see, everyone can see, right? So there'll be a big line surrounding that big line. There'll be like two small lines, two or one. You can give anything, but wherever there is glass in your drawing and you are trying to represent the glass, you have to always mention the glass in this hatch pattern. Okay. The same goes for like it says if it's a stone, marble, or if you're going to represent something in that fashion, you have to uh, mention the hatch in the dotted pattern. Asbestos, plywoods. I'll just share this PDF to you, and you can see this hatch pattern is guaranteed by BIS and ISO. So if any standard you are going to implement, that is guaranteed by this BIS and ISO code. Okay. So I'll just go with my layer now. Let me draw some quick shapes first. Like this. So as we've seen what hatch is, now let's see how we can draw hatch in a given surface, in a shape. So here I want to draw a hatch. Okay, hatch will be in your okay. These are our shapes. So we are trying to draw a hatch. Hatch will be in your draw commands itself. So we have seen all the draw commands until ellipse. After the ellipse, we find this hatch command. If you drop down, if you press on that hatch command, you have three drop downs under the hatch settings. You have to press hatch for our hatch. So after that, you'll be greeted with this ribbon. In this ribbon, if you want to draw a hatch, you can just first hit select, and you have to click wherever you want to draw a hatch. Like for example, I want to draw a hatch over this rectangle, and then as soon as you go to that rectangle, that shape, you'll be greeted with a highlight. Then click on that highlight. You'll have a hatch. The most important thing to remember here is hatch cannot be performed on an open surface. So I'll show what that is. Okay, this looks like a rectangle, but it has a small opening. Okay, I'll just minimize that opening also. Like the opening is this small, which is not visible to our eyes. Okay, now let me go to this hatch command. I've selected select. and as soon as I go to that place, even I click on this, hatch cannot be applied. You can see, right? Why? Because this is not closed. So you have to always remember. Sometimes what many students do is they'll try to forget closing the ends. Whatever your shape you're taking, they'll try to they'll forget closing the ends, and they'll keep on asking hatch is not applied over here. So you have to always remember, if you want to apply hatch over any surface, it should be closed. Now let's try to apply hatch again. As soon as I go here, it's not still working. Why? Because we have 4 different lines. That's it. We cannot apply on different lines. What you have to do is you have to select all, you have to press J, enter. Now this is an object. So it has closed boundaries. How do we know? Just press PR. Yesterday we've discussed, right? PR shows the properties of anything. As soon as I hit on that particular rectangle, you can see it has area, which means this is a closed surface. Okay. So now let's try to apply hatch on this surface. You can see hatch is being applied. Okay. So after that, you want to change the type of hatch you have applied. Okay. How do you do that? There is a drop down over here. So you have different types of hatch. Like say I want to go for this type of hatch. You can select any type of hatch. So let's say I want to apply brick over here. As I apply brick, I cannot see any brick over here because see this has taken a scale which we cannot see the hatch. So try to increase here, increase or decrease the content over here. Like I'll just try to scroll down, or let's say I'll give 50 value. Even it's not visible, let's say 500. Sorry. So we have selected this. Let's say 0.5. Okay, we have to decrease point. So you can see you have to either increase or decrease the value over here. Thereby you can see what hatch will be applied on that given surface. So you have to appropriately apply, and whatever the value you are applying, it should be okay to you when you take that to paper. So this will not look awkward when I take that to paper, to say my print screen. If I print this particular rectangle, we have to always make sure that our hatch is not disturbing our view. Also, our hatch is appropriate. That also you have to always take care. So you're getting my point, right? So I've given my hatch, okay. I've reduced or increased my hatch value depending on my requirement. But how do you decide that one is you have to make sure that your hatch will be appropriate to the drawing, whatever you're drawing. Also, this hatch should not dominate the whole drawing. Also, let's say like I'm going to a layout over here. So this is what we are going to print out. So if this hatch is disturbing the entire view, which means that hatch should be either decreased or it should be edited in a way. Like I can go to hatch, either you can decrease the value. Also, you can increase or decrease the hatch transparency. What this does is it'll increase or decrease the visibility of this hatch. Like if I decrease like this, you can see the hatch is not visible very thick. That can be seen in the layout also. You can see this hatch is very thick compared to this hatch, right? That is what the visibility settings of hatches, the transparency of hatches. You can increase or decrease, and even you can increase or decrease the angle also, the angle of your particular hatch. So this is true for any hatch. Like let's say I just wanted to draw one more hatch. I'll go to hatch. So here are our different types of hatches. There are many varieties over here. So let's say I'm going to apply this particular type of hatch. Hit on the surface, you'll have here. So here for this given 0.025, it's not visible. So let's say I'll make it 5. Now you can see that is visible. Or let's say I'll apply like say 50. 50 is not appropriate for this given hatch. So I'll go back to 10. So these things you have to manually adjust. There is no other option. You have to manually adjust how much you have to give the uh, value of the hatch, and whether the given value is appropriate to our drawing or not. That you have to manually adjust and give it. And also the angle also, whether the given angle is okay for us or you have to rotate as per our material. So this, as I've said, you have certain catalogs over here, and depending on the material, you have to give the hatch pattern. Okay, let's see what are the other options are there in the hatch. So here, let's take one more hatch here like this. I try to apply for this object. Now you can see I don't want a hatch over here. Okay, I want hatch only in this element. So I want to remove the hatch over here. For that, you have to just go for remove, press on that, select on that given element. Yes. Just try to draw once more. So I'll just apply hatch, some hatch in the surface. So I'll draw a circle over here. And now I want to remove the hatch over this circle. I'm facing an error over here. Let's try one more hatch, something like this. I'll increase or decrease the value. Let's say we'll give 10. 10 is more. Let's say we'll give 1. So here we can see the hatch properly. After that, so I want to say remove a given hatch from a surface like this. So I just try to hit. I'm having a bad day actually. I don't know why this is not working, but actually that should work. There is some error from my PC. I don't know why, but the option is once you apply a hatch over here for any surface, if you want to remove a hatch in a given area, what you have to do is you have to select that like select the hatch, and then you have to select this option remove. It should automatically remove. I don't know why today it's not working for me, but I'll just try to correct this one. I'll try to explain tomorrow or later in the session. I just wanted to give it a rough idea. That's how you are going to do. And let's see what are the other properties in the hatch. Okay, we have we have a circle over here. Okay, we have two circles over here. So let's go to hatch again. And there is an option called associativity. So I'll try to draw a hatch with an associativity on. Okay, now let me draw a hatch again. One more other type of hatch. Let's just take this hatch with associativity off, turned off, turned on, one for turned on and one. So for this hatch, there is no associativity. For this hatch, let's see, there is associativity. So what happens if you have association and what happens if you don't have association? So I'll click on this circle. Now let me try to expand this circle. So you can expand this circle by hitting on any side. So you can see as I expand the circle, the hatch is not trying to imitate the expansion. Why? Because the hatch is not following the expansion. The same thing. Now let me go to this circle. This is associative. How do I know? Click on that hatch. You can see associativity is ticked on. Now let me just go to this hatch, this circle, and try to increase its size. You can see the hatch is following whatever the increase or decrease in size of the given element. Let's see the same example for square also. I'll just draw a small rectangle like this. I'll just draw similar rectangle. Okay. So now let me go to hatch again. Uh, hatch. It is in association. Try to give it. Switch off the association. Now let me select one more hatch like this. Hit over here. So this hatch does not have association. Okay, this also does not have. Let me, because we have drawn similar view, so it is not taking association. So I'll just try to draw one more time. I'll hit association, select this hatch, hit over here. So it is associative. I'll just come out. Now let me try one more hatch like this, which should not be associative for our purpose. Hit over here. Close hatch. Now, if I select that hatch, if associativity is highlighted, which means that hatch is associative. If I select it is not associated, means that hatch is not associative. And the difference is when you change its shape or size, the hatch will follow. No matter how much you change your size or shape, the hatch will follow. If it is associative, if it is not, it will not follow. Clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is what a hatch is. Now let's, okay, we have drawn all the drawing commands. We have seen how to modify. The only thing missing is in any drawing is to give dimensions. All right. So let's try to give dimensions to our project. Let's say this is our project and we have certain rectangles over here. We want to give dimensions to this rectangle. So how do we approach dimension is either you can take it over here, or the best way is you can just go to annotate. Annotation is nothing but everything other than drawing you see in the drawing is called annotation. Either text, either dimensions, either tables. You can create tables also in the drawing. Whatever that is there, either revision clouds. There's option called revision cloud over here. What this is, say you have created your drawing and you have sent to your superior or you have sent it to the client, and they find some errors in your drawing or corrections in your drawing. So they can do what they can do is they can take this rectangle and mark like this and say, okay, give a comment over here, like correct. How do you give them a comment? You can just take this text, you can just correct here. This can be adjusted as per our say dimension. I show the dimensions. So I'm just giving an example. So if someone is finding an error, they can take this revision cloud and they can point out wherever the error is there. So that is a use of this revision cloud. First, let me go to dimension. How many types of dimensions are there? Same for dimensions also, as we have seen in this what we call ISO or BIS standards. There is also a pattern for our dimensions as well. How do we select the dimension? Like we can see here, placing of dimensions. How do we place a dimension? What should be width, thickness, and all? This again will vary company to company and trade to trade. I'm just giving a rough idea like where these things are there and how we can change if you want to change. So in this dimension section, you have your dimension. You can click on any dimension. You can click on the dimension. You can point out over here, like between 2 points, you'll see your dimension. So this is small. We'll see how you can change this thing. Okay. I don't want this default dimension. If you want to change, so this is of ISO 25. If you want to change, if you click on this drop down, you have three more options: a standard, annotative, ISO 25. Like let's check standard how that looks. I'll just select that standard. I'll go to dimension again. click 2 points, any 2 points, just drag outside. You can see there is dimension over here. So these are the 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions that are present default. There is, you can see the text height in the default dimension is very low. If you want to increase or decrease the text height or any annotative symbols height, where you have to go is, yesterday we have seen something called dimsty, right? DIMSTY. Hit enter. This manages whatever your dimension is there, right? It will manage over here. So for now, what you are going to do is we are going to change the dimension style. Let's say I've selected standard and I have to change the dimension so that it is visible. I'll just hit modify. Here over you there's an option called use overall scale of. Just try to increase it to say 50 or 40. Hit OK. Set current. Close. Now you can see there is an increase in dimension height and width. So you don't like dimension style that is of standard. What if you want to create new style? Either you can go to density, or if you want to access that density without hitting the shortcut, you can just hit this small icon here. Arrow mark is there, right? You can hit on that arrow mark. You have your dimension style manager. Here, you can create your own dimension style by hitting new. Okay. Now, okay, I have created. I want to create new dimension style. I'll just rename it as D1. I'll hit continue. Here, there are multiple settings via which we can create our own dimension as per our standards. The lines, okay. If I want to give color, okay, here there is no color for our dimension. If I want to give a color, I can select a color over here. So whatever the change I am making here, that will be displayed over here. Like, let's say this is our drawing, and how our dimension is going to reflect. This is what we see when we press a dimension. The line type also, if you want your dimension to be of a different kind, you can select here. I just make a, like I want the same line type that is continuous, and the line weight should be of minimum. That should not, like we have discussed yesterday, the line weight should not be more than that of our drawing. So I'll just select default or somewhat lesser, 0.05, 0.0, and whatever it is, lesser than whatever I have chosen to draw. After that, these are other settings. You can just try to use it. You'll know what these settings are. And then I'll just go for symbols. Here, depending on your application, you have to select this arrow mark. Like this arrow mark is okay for our say mechanical drawings. If I'm using an architectural drawing, I'll just go for this architectural tick. Let's say we are in a construction plan, and I want to make an architectural tick for my dimension. You can select this, both first and second. This is first and this is second. And the leader also, whatever you want, like say close dot or architectural tick, you can select. So you can see the display has changed here. So this is how our dimension is going to look now. Okay. And now you can change the sizes also, break size, the angle in which this tick is there. Everything is customizable over here. I'll just go to text again. So in case you want your dimension to be highlighted, okay, just press this draw frame around the text, which means wherever the dimension is there, you will have a frame around your dimension. That's just for a convenience factor. Like whenever you see something like this, it indicates that we are having a dimension over that place. It's just all our standards and our convenience. The fit also, like we have selected 50 over here. Like if you want your dimension even more, the value can go for additional 55. You can see there'll be an increase in size of this dimension. And units. So here comes our units. So if you are using architecture, again, as I've said in the first class, you can just select for architectural template. Those will be displayed in architectural format. Right now, I'm just making it decimal only because we are not in architecture plan. Okay, I'll just make decimal, And precision also you can choose as per your requirement. After all the settings, you can hit OK. If you know what the tolerance you are using, you can give tolerances also. After all the settings, I'll hit OK. Then the most important thing is you have to set the current dimension, whatever you have created, right? B1. Select that and you have to hit set current. So that will be your default dimension from now on. Let's see how the dimension looks like. So whenever I select the dimension, you can see D1 is by default highlighted. Select the D1 dimension. You can see whatever we have created, that is displayed over here. So these things normally when we do these things is before starting a project, we'll consult the clients and we'll consult our department internally, and we'll evaluate what the dimension style we are going to use. After that only we are going to create these dimensions. So once you create for a project, this will be permanent. If you want to transfer this dimension, you have to save the whole AutoCAD in the form of template. So as I've said in the first class, you can save all the settings like dimension styles, dimensions, and if you have any like blocks, small blocks, you can save that in a template. And whenever you are opening new file, right, just new file, drawing. So you can select that template. You can, wherever you have saved the template, you can access that template and open that. So it saves a lot of time. You don't have to do this thing multiple times for multiple projects. So you just have to do all the settings only once in your project. Okay. So I think that's it for dimension. There is no much, like say you're having a circle also, the same process. So you have to select dimension. So if you select this point to this point, you can see there is dimension. If you want any arc or something like that, you have to select what you want. Like you can have something called leader. So here there is an option called leader. You can mention what you are going to mention, like radius, let's say. What is the radius of this? How do you know the radius? Just select PR, enter, then select this thing. You can know radius is of 247. You can double click this thing, radius 47, or R is enough. R247, which indicates the radius. Okay, that's how you give dimensions for all the other elements, except for like straight lines and all the things. If you are having a fillet or if you are having a curvature, for those things, or let's say you are having a door or window, you want to give a description for that door or window. You can take this leader and you can just give the dimensions and all. So this all the other things except for dimension we'll discuss in the further classes tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Okay, so topic wise, that's it for today. I'll just give a quick example for construction. We have seen two examples for machines. Let me just give a small example of construction, how we draw a wall. Okay, let me take a rectangle again. So we have a lot of rectangles today. I'll select first point. After that, what you can do is, if you have the dimensions, you can just give your X value and your Y value, 50 and 30. Let's say I'm drawing the rectangle with 50 and 30. So again, there's a problem here. Why? Because this is a decimal. Let's say I just wanted to create a project with architectural units. I'll just go to drawing units, select architectural units, precision, this is enough. And then in the units, I'm going to select inches. After that, you have to confirm or you have to reconfirm it via your density. You have to just go for modify. Here in the primary units, you have to always change whatever units you have changed. Then you'll be reflected with the dimensions also. So now what happens is, if you don't change this, when you dimension in this current project after saving, after like changing to architecture units, they will not reflect. They will be still showing the decimal units only. So for that reason, you have to always change the dimensions also in the dimension style manager. The shortcut is EIMSTY. So after hitting primary units, you have to change it over here, hit set current. So now let's say I have a line. Line is of say 10, 15 feet. If I measure the dimension over here, see, it's still not functioning. It's functioning, but it's showing in inches. If you want in feet, you have to change it to feet, like in density. Just go to modify primary units. You can see it's still in architecture. Now, if I go and change, it will be displayed in our units. You can see it has changed now. So that is the reason we have to always go for density and change the units there as well, because then only your dimension will change, or else your dimension will not change. So what you have to do is you have to first go for units. If you're using architectural units, you have to change our architectural units over here, and then we have to go for density. In the density also, we have to change in the modify. We have to change the units, whatever units we are using. You have to always check these things when you enter in the project. Okay, fine. Now let me draw a rectangle. Hit enter. Now, if I know the dimension, I can give the dimension. Let's say 50 feet, comma 30 feet. You have your dimension entered over here. So let's check whether our dimension is correct or not. You can see dimension is correct, 50 feet. So no issues over there. So after that, okay, let me have a line passing through this, but not to this. I just wanted to create walls in my project. Let's say these are my outer walls. I'm trying to create in an inner wall. So I'll just take until say 15 feet. So this will be my wall. So I'll just stop it over. I'm creating this because I just want a reference. That's it. Okay, I'll try to draw a wall over here. This maybe let's. I'm just trying to draw a rough thing. Say again, I'll take 15 feet, and then I'll try to draw something of 6 feet, and then 10 feet. I'm just giving an example. Lastly, I'll just try to connect. So here, I don't need this anymore. I'll delete. After that, wherever that wall we have drawn on the other side, let me try to connect. How do you know? Whenever you scroll on that given line, if you see end of that given line, you see a triangle. You just connect it. That is space bar. So here it ends. Give something line like this. Wherever it ends, right, you can just give a line like this. Say I don't want this line. Let me try to move here. So I'm just trying to construct a room. Yeah, I just want this room and this room. This room also I just want a little bit bigger in size. Say this much. Okay, now it's enough for me. I want to create 3 rooms. One room. I'll try to move this one a little bit like this. So this will be first room. This will be my second room. I'll try to enter in this direction. I'm just trying to be rough here. Now after that, and I just want an outer wall for this. So what I'm going to do is I'll just try to offset. So this outer wall mostly will be of 12 inches thickness. So I'll just take 12 inches. I have my outer wall now. So after that, try to connect all this inner lines, press J enter, they will be joined. Now what I'm going to do is I just wanted to offset everything that is related to inner wall to an offset length of 6 inches. That will be a thickness of inner wall. Just select 6 inches, enter, select this line. That will be our inner wall. So the same goes for these two walls also. Okay. After that, I just wanted to tidy up my drawing. So I'll just try to erase these uh, lines over here so that my drawing looks tidy. TR, enter, try to erase all the intersecting lines. Like this. Okay, so we have basic walls like this. Now the thing is, we want to place, let's say, windows and doors. So there is a process to create windows and doors in our project. For that, let me just try to open a new layer. Try to create new layer, a door, and I want door to be, say, red in color. And I just want one more layer that should be for windows. Okay, and I want the windows to be, say, somewhat similar to that in color. So we have two more layers. So now we can, this zero layer is there, right? Instead of that, we can create one more layer for all our walls, inner walls and outer walls. We can place that also. Anyway, we have created the walls, so I'm not placing that. So if you want to create new doors, first let me go for door layer. So now we are in door layer. You have to always make sure that the color should be in by layer, which means whatever the layer color is there, the line which we draw in that layer will be on that color. So that should be always in the layer. Then let me quickly draw door. Just try to remember this process. This is similar for any type of door you draw. Okay, I'll just take a rectangle again. Okay, this rectangle should be of 3 feet and 3 inches. The direction, I'll just try to give in the opposite direction, which is 3 inches and this is what this should look like. And then I'll just create one more rectangle like this. Here, what I'm going to do is three inches and 6 inches. So this is what it looks like. Okay, I've created two rectangles. One is 3 feet 6 inches. The other one is 3 inches and 6 inches. What I'm going to do is now I just try to move this thing. Over here. I just drag this point to this point over here like this. Now I want to draw an arc in this direction. So for that, what I'm going to do is just go for arc, select start, center, start, end. Okay. Give your center point, give your start point, and try to draw your arc until this place so that you have your perpendicular angle matching your door swing. This is called as door swing. What we are trying to draw is how much the door is going to swing if it is opened or closed. Again, this is a representation of our door fixation, right? Our door will be fixed to an element. So I'm trying to copy this thing. So this point should be over here. So in many cases, this is our door looks. Okay, so this will be our single door. I'll just copy this thing, place it over here. Now what I am going to do is, what if I have two doors? One door will open in this direction and one door will open in this direction. What I'm going to do that is, for that, I'll just go to say mirror, my shortcut of mirror, enter, select this whole objects, enter, and then you have to give your reference axis. And then after that, either you want to erase the source or not. No. So you have your what you call reflected doors, which means a door will open in this direction, a door will also open in this direction. What if you don't have a common point, something like to hold these two doors between? In that case, you have to delete this center part, which is a fixation. So this door, when it joins over here, we have an arrangement to lock the door and all these things. When do we have? Whenever the door is going to attach, right? So if you have this is a wall, this is a wall, let's say. So the door should be placed between the wall. This is a swing action. So if we are not going to represent this, means a door cannot be attached to the fixation. So that is why we are providing a representation like this. And some cases we have doors in both the directions, this side and this side. For that cases, what we are going to do is select only these elements. We have to go for mirror. We have to just press F8 and hit no. After that, you can just try to delete it. So you should not delete it before copying that. So if you delete before copying, what happens is you have to recreate again. So always make sure that if you're changing something, that element should be first copied, so that whenever you need this particular element, you can actually make this without drawing once again. Okay, we have got our doors. So the next thing is we have to draw our windows. Let's go for windows. I'll just quickly try to draw one window. So I'll go for REC again. So these are the standard procedure to draw any what we call as block. So after I've taken REC, I've just given first point. We are in the Windows category here in the Windows layer. What I'm going to do is I'll just give dimensions for my window. So this is what one dimension is, and then I'll just go for what you call offset, inch offset in both directions. So it is not possible because I don't want offset in this direction and in this direction. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to explode. So what happens if I explode is each element will be of its own. So it will not be a combined thing. Then we can actually offset it. Offset it. I'll just make an offset of 1 inch in both the directions, this direction and this direction. And I'll try to draw a line in between. So you may wonder why I'm drawing like this. This is normally a convention. So if ever you see anywhere with a block like this, it indicates that it is a window. And if you see anywhere a block like this, it indicates that it is a door. Okay. For today, let's stick on to this level only. Tomorrow we'll see how those blocks work also. I'll just try to copy this things. CP, enter. I'll pick my base point wherever the base point is. I'll try to place. So, okay, this is where I want a door. I can place wherever the door is required. So if at all your door is opening inside, you can place inside. If at all your door is opening outside, you were opening outside. So this is what door in inside means, looks like. And I just try to copy this thing. I'll try to give my door over here, this door over here, and with this window, this is an internal window. If you want external window, you have to make something bigger because these walls are bigger in size. So I'll just quickly place something over here. Let's say something over here. I'll just skip something over here. You have to make sure that the block actually should match your wall. After that, what you have to do is, so here it's not confusing, but here the wall should not go through this door. So we have our wall, right? We have our door. So wherever the wall is there, that wall should be removed. Just press TR. You have to erase this. Walls like this. So again, here also. So that's how we represent our drawing. So we have our walls, we have our doors, we have our windows. So in tomorrow's session, we'll try to continue this particular drawing, and we try to extend what are the other possibilities are there for this given drawing. I hope you have understood today's session. Let me quickly try to stop the recording.